Hey Art Nerds, we are going to be talking about how to do different types of flooring using one-point perspective. And we're going to start with some hardwood flooring, and then later we'll get to some of this tile flooring. Now, what you are also going to need is you're going to need a ruler, because the first thing we need to do is we need to make sure that each of these wooden boards is going to be the same size. So how we're going to do that is I'm just going to take my ruler and go along this bottom edge of my wall, so my back wall right there. And I'm going to do 1 centimeter for every one of these hardwood floorboards. Now, keeping in mind like how big my room is, these are going to be really wide boards. Okay, so you might want to do yours about like 1/4 inch is probably a very good size. But the reason I'm doing that is because I like plank flooring, like big, you know, 12 to 14 inch wide boards are nice and really old and really cool looking, but also it'll help us transition to our tiles a little bit easier later on. So once I have each of them segmented, now I know that all of them are going to be the same size. Okay, we don't want to do our measuring down here because the length from here to here is much longer than here to here, because if I just swivel around here, okay, it's going to be much shorter. Okay, so it'll make a lot more sense as we keep going. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my triangle, and I just need to finish this up with some orthogonals. So I don't need to go all the way to the vanishing point. I can go straight from where my floor starts and go all the way across my floor. And that's really all there is for the main part in dividing up your flooring when you're trying to do something that's more like hardwood. Okay. But the big thing is making sure that you're starting with nice even boards, because they will not be nice and even on this side because of just the different angles that they're coming at. Now there's other things you can do to make them look cool. You could make it look like there is not just a single board all the way across, so you can segment it, which is not too tricky. Also, you can add some details, so like making it look like there's some wood grain on there. Definitely look at some pictures or even some images that are drawings of wood grain to try to create that illusion as well. And to make it look like there's, like, you know, chunks of board, you know, and they're not all lined up. Okay, you're just adding like a horizontal line here and there, just so you divide up those floorboards so they don't all look like one giant board. It looks a little bit more natural. So something like that would be really cool in adding some details to it. So let's take a look and see what is the big difference between doing the hardwood floors and doing the tiles. So here we go. Alright, so now I have my tiled floor on here, okay? And it is extremely simple to do a tile floor, okay? So here's the trick, okay? Do you see this diagonal line that I have right here from corner to corner? Okay, all I did is once I had my normal orthogonals creating my hardwood floor, I added a diagonal going across. And notice how every intersection I added a horizontal line across. Okay. So every time that this diagonal crossed one of these orthogonals, I added a horizontal line. And notice how every one is gradually smaller and smaller and smaller all the way. It is the simplest way to create that illusion of the tiles getting smaller as they keep going. Okay. So all it really was, okay, I'll even show you up here, okay, is if I had my vanishing point back of my floor, I have my tile, my hardwood kind of lines coming out right here. All I did was create a diagonal line. And then everywhere that it crisscrossed, that's where I drew a line going across. That's it. Pretty crazy, pretty wild, but such a neat trick, okay? So definitely try that out if you want to do some sort of tile floor. Otherwise, hardwood floors are super cool. So, hope you enjoyed.